It's time to find out who is the fastest puzzler in the country. Hello everybody, and welcome back to my coverage of the 2024 USA Jigsaw Nationals. And get ready, because there were a few unexpected shakeups in these final events. To catch you up, in my last video, I covered all of the preliminary rounds. So in the very first round, we only had a 3-second difference between Kathy Reuter and Sarah Schuler. Jean Reuter easily won Prelim B with Andrea Peng in second and me in 7th. In Prelim C, Kelly Walter got first, and second was breakout star Alice Rowe, who was less than a minute behind her. In pairs Prelim A, once again, we had a 4-second difference between the Reuters and Sarah and Lauren. Tiffany and I got 5th, even with a piece on the floor. And Kelly Walter and Andrea Peng won Prelim B in less than 23 minutes, which is crazy fast for a pairs puzzle. So now that you're all caught up, today I'll be covering all of the finals. We're starting off with the teams event on day 2, and there was no teams prelim. This was the only teams event. We have 3 hours to solve 2 1,000-piece puzzles, but unlike Worlds, we have to do them in the same order. And before I get into it, this video is sponsored by Ravensburger. They also provided all of the puzzles for the competition, and they also covered my travel and camera people expenses.
Nice if you put a picture of me on your shirt. For inspiration. We're really channeling our inner Andreas.
All right, welcome everyone to the USA Jigsaw Nationals team competition. From 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, puzzle!
Oh, boy, EB's chair went flying. That's crazy. This is not a preliminary anymore. Money is on the line.
Yeah, right. We're
bragging
finally...
rights, national championship on the line right here.
Okay, so this is the first puzzle. Look at how busy it is. This is wild. Now, because of the artist's signing schedule, we knew to expect one from Dean McAdam, but this is a lot busier than a lot of his other illustrations. It is not an easy one to rush through. Okay, what strategy are we thinking?
There's purple branches, lots of birds. There's a nest.
Just grab whatever color speaks to you. Dean McAdam painted with all the colors of the wind here, honestly.
So, who are we up against? The Reuters teamed up with Betsy and Robin as Sisters Squared. In the tie-dye shirts are the Sly Dogs, and you might recognize Doug from when we shared a table at Worlds last year. Of course, we have We Put the Betch in You Betcha. They just won both teams events at Winter Carnival, so they're the front runners going into this. And then we have the Peace Corps, featuring Andrea, Becca, Kelly Walter, and Kelly Burr. That is just a powerhouse of a team. Then Tiffany is on the Dark Horse Puzzlers, and Mari Black has been doing very well, and she's on a team called Wicked Quick.
Yeah, here, want some eyeball? Yeah, we're sorting a ton. Because you're actually going to put the entire thing together. Oh, this is so light, I almost just threw it.
So right here, you can see me rotating the box. That's a little trick so that I don't have to rotate the image in my head as I'm getting the edge together. Oh, and also right here, we can see the unofficial international team.
Again, not a landscape. There's no sky really in this one. So sorry, everybody that's been looking for one of those. But yeah, I'll be very curious to see what puzzlers think of this one. It's one thing to look at the puzzle in the box, right? You look at the box art and you think, oh, okay, that's going to look a certain way. And it's a whole other thing when you look at it all spread out on a table and you see the pieces and actually go, oh, wait, because one of the things that happens in a busy puzzle like this is you could have different things happening on every piece. So a piece might have a little branch on it, a little bit of bird on it, and then some yellow background, and suddenly you're like, oh no, where do I put any of these? And you have a giant pile of things that all look the same.
Okay, so I feel like I got so spoiled at the team's events at Worlds, getting relatively easy puzzles, which we finished in like 35 or 40 minutes. Well, we're coming up on 30 minutes for this one, and we are nowhere close. But luckily, we're not the only ones. As I cut between all of the top teams, you can see how everyone still has a long way to go. And I'm trying to remember what I even worked on. I know I did a lot of blue pieces, and then I did some orange leaves and the hummingbirds, but it was all kind of a blur because each element was so small and each person only does about a quarter of the whole puzzle. So there's a lot that I feel like I never even saw.
There's a lot of branches, there's a lot of leaves, you know. I want to make it fun, but I want to make it challenging too. It's called Busy Birdies. When I kind of was working on it, the working title was A Bird's Life. If you kind of start from the top left, you know, you have birth, you have childhood. It's just life.
You have a little bat hanging down here.
It's death.
Birth to death, right?
Yeah, it's birth to death. So it's a whole gamut of the spectrum.
So finally, as we're hitting 50 minutes, the Peace Corps are almost done, and the Betches are right up there with them.
The teams know they're getting close when there's folks crowded around.
When all the cameras are on them, they know like something's happening. I mean, there's not many pieces left on the side
so
there.
Yeah. 54 minutes in.
So this is a little longer. It's a tougher one. Good job, Dean. You're giving them their money's worth, so to speak.
I'll hold it up. The box is my campaign.
So the Peace Corps are the first to finish the first puzzle at 55-54. But remember, there's still a whole nother puzzle to go. So I'll talk about that second puzzle in a minute. But first, 2 minutes later, the Betches are the only other team to finish in under an hour.
Here. Okay, you got it.
Oh, God.
So here's where we were when they finished. We're almost done, and you can see we started shape sorting to finish the last little bit. So then at 1 hour and 3 minutes, Sister Squared finished, and they moved on to the second puzzle. And exactly 30 seconds after them, we were the fourth team to finish the first puzzle.
Time.
Oh boy, oh, it's so blue, it's so blue.
Oh, this reminds me of the mermaids.
I know, my first thought. Okay, so let me show you this puzzle. We all knew an Elsbeth McLean puzzle was coming, so we had all practiced the mandalas, but this is something else. There is just so much blue. And if you remember, at Nationals 2022, we also got a super hard blue puzzle, so everyone was getting flashbacks to that. So while we started on that sea of blue pieces, Wicked Quick, Sly Dogs, and the Dark Horse Puzzlers all finished the first puzzle. So our strategy was to have Yvonne do the edge, while Lindsay and I did anything that wasn't blue, and Evie did a lot of sorting. And you're gonna see pretty much everyone start with that orange sun, because that was the only easy part of this puzzle.
It's really a lot of blue. And what's funny is, last time we had that 1,500 piece underwater, and that was a lot of blue, and people were like, what are they doing to us? And then here we go with this. I think they're going to be thinking we have it in for them or something. They're in for a challenge, and we like to do that. This is the national championship overall. Right. We can't make it too easy on them.
I asked one of the teams on my way over how they felt about it, and there was maybe some swear words in there.
More than anything, it's going to be interesting for people to kind of adjust their eye to this from what they just did with your puzzle.
And I'm thinking with the Ravensburger backing is blue too. I wonder if that gets a little confusing.
Right.
So as we're reaching 1 hour and a half, we can see pretty much everyone is doing this puzzle the same way. If we look back at the image, there is actually a lot of different stuff going on. You can do all of the smaller stones and follow along with the box to get those in place. And then the centers of all of the mandalas have these constellations, which are a different texture from the outlines. But it's definitely a difficult one to rush through, especially immediately after doing another really hard puzzle.
These are champions. Like, I am just in awe of them. Like, please tell me your secrets. I want to join and be one of you too.
Well, I was going to say, people in the chat, I love it. They're immediately when your puzzle came out, they were like, oh no.
It's a tricky one, but there are a lot of clues. This is probably the most labor-intensive puzzle that I've created with Ravensburger, and there was a lot of back and forth, a lot of revisions, and so there are a lot of clues. It looks like there's a lot of the similar colors, but there's size and shape and pattern to play with that I really think and hope will create a really fun puzzling experience for sure.
I feel like Karen likes really difficult
She
puzzles.
does. She likes
just
the busy stuff.
Cool, all white, this looks great.
Yeah,
I'm like,
right?
whoa, Karen.
I know. She takes on challenges in her
Yeah.
videos that I would just be like, no thank you.
That
I would never
9,000
do.
Okay, so we're at an hour 48, and it is the Peace Corps who are solidly in the lead. The Betches are close, but they definitely still have more to go. And since this isn't a prelim anymore, there is a $3,000 cash prize on the line for the winners.
This is a puzzle that requires some serious stamina because it would be easy to kind of throw up your hands and get a little exhausted by it. It's a lot of intense focus, I think, on this minutia in the patterns. These guys, they're kind of flying, and we could be under 2.
I think you're
Under
right.
2 hours, which would be crazy. Oh my gosh, there it is.
Oh my gosh.
That is amazing. Look at that. Look at that.
So it is the Peace Corps who are the national champions. To do both of those very difficult puzzles in under 2 hours is such an incredible accomplishment. So, now that we have our winners, are the Betches close enough to get second?
Okay, where are all of our pieces? They're all under here, I bet.
Oh, they're missing a piece. Where did it go?
We have one. Otherwise, we'll get 10-second penalty, and that's A-okay. Got it. Woo! Good job, guys! Woo! Woo! Oh, yes, 4-way high five. What are you doing? This is bad.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I'm smiling, but I'm not.
Oh. Second? Hey, good job, guys. Amazing, guys. Seriously, how the did you do that? Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that sigh is how all of us are feeling. But now that teams are starting to finish, plenty of other teams are getting close, and it is the top 6 who get on the podium and get prizes. I'm fading.
No, Karen, no. I see you picking it up.
Okay, I haven't faded, I'm back.
Ends up 34 seconds. Okay, 8:34.
So, with only 20 seconds between them, Wicked Quick takes 3rd and Sister Squared gets 4th. There are now 2 spots left on the podium. So the Sly Dogs finish, and even after having several pieces on the floor, they get 5th. Now there is 1 spot left on the podium, and we're getting close, but are we close enough? None. 6? Yeah. Well, how do you guys feel? So we did it. We got 6th place and we made it onto the winner's podium. Okay, who's your favorite bird? He's cute.
Together.
Well, I can't wait to look at it more than what we just did.
Just like throw it away
And then this one. I love these. I love puzzling them.
It's been like a career highlight for sure.
Yeah, we just barely got on the podium.
That's still on the podium,
Yeah.
girlfriend.
What was your strategy, you guys?
This?
For any of them?
This chaos.
So tell us what you thought when you saw Elspeth's beautiful mandala puzzle.
25% of us were really excited.
Are you hating? Please don't hate us. Plus,
I did. I stood the whole time.
Oh, man.
The second I sit down, something tells my brain, like, this is now calm and it's not really a competition. So my back is in pain.
You're like, okay, this is the blue with the purple dots, and this is the purple with the blue dot.
We made a big gamble. The philosophy is a team that practices is faster than a team that is fast.
Okay.
And we are not maybe the fastest puzzlers that everybody knows about, but we have practiced within an inch of our lives.
Thank
We've
you,
developed
yeah,
language to talk to each other. We have developed strength. We have trained over Zoom. We have run drills. We hold each other up. We save each other's asses when we're in trouble. There's immense fast switching. Like, we've worked. We've worked, and it paid off.
I think that's a great message for people out there to hear, though, because I think some people think, well, I'm never going to be that good, right? But you could get really good with a lot of time and effort.
We were mic'd up for this one, for Karen Puzzles video.
Oh, really?
So you'll have some color commentary and some colorful language
Yeah, I was
potentially.
I was going to say, is she going to have to bleep some stuff out there?
She might just have to bleep the whole thing. Bow, chicka, wow, wow. Oh, I thought you were taking yours off too. I have button fly jeans on right now. I had to check. I did a mirror check this morning. I was like, if I bend over, can you see through the buttons? Did you hear that, Karen? Oh, there's a crap ton of those. Oops. Pieces keep popping the hell out. Can I help you? Yes. Actually, though, can I help you? Yes. Okay, thanks. What the hell? It goes with one of those tiny little purples. I think this puzzle should come with free therapy. Sorry, I'm just being. I don't know how the they're crushing it over there, but they are.
Yeah, it's fine.
No, like, I just want to know. Like, I want to know what the secret was. I literally said if we didn't win, I was going to quit our team. Oh my God.
What did I tell you?
Sarah. Why would I ever quit you, though? How many times have I said I was going to quit our team, though? Oh my God, I almost just pulled apart the entire puzzle. Finally. I put a piece in for the first time in like 10 minutes. I have not done anything. Do you want me to just sit out for the rest of this one? Because, oh my God. Yeah, maybe don't put that in the video.
Okay, we have made it to the end of that marathon of a teams competition, and my team made it onto the podium. I'll talk more about the prizes at the end of the video, but for now, let's take a look at the data. So here are the finish times for everyone who finished both puzzles, which was 17 teams out of 50. You can really see how the placements shifted based on how fast they did the second puzzle. Then we can break out the top times per puzzle. So my team finished in 4th place on the first puzzle. And as I said before, only 2 teams did it in under an hour. But then when we look at the second puzzle, we dropped down to 7th. Look at Wicked Quick though. They beat the Betches on this one, and they had the second fastest time. But the Peace Corps were once again in first. They almost beat an hour, literally just 1 second over. So then I made this chart so we can see how the placements changed between the 2 puzzles. That second puzzle definitely mixed up the order quite a bit. So now let's look at all of the teams. At the bottom, you can see that 17 teams finished both puzzles, 29 finished one, and 4 didn't quite finish the first puzzle. And then we can also flip that chart around to see the piece counts. So you can see that a bunch of teams were super close to finishing that second puzzle. And then here is a closer look at the finished birds puzzle, since we had to take it apart as soon as we finished it. I solved it again to be able to show you guys, and there are just so many details that I missed when we were rushing through it. And then here is the mandalas puzzle. You guys saw in my training video that I actually love doing this kind of puzzle. It's definitely tricky for a competition, but I just think all of these little dots are so satisfying to do, and I'm really excited to do this again just for fun and get to do all of the parts that my teammates did during the competition. So before we move on, there's just one more thing. I want to show you guys our full time lapse because I just think it is so satisfying. So that was the end of day 2. There were more puzzle activities at night, which I'm going to talk about at the end of the video. But for now, let's move on to the pairs final at the beginning of day 3. For this event, we had 2.5 hours to solve a 1,000 piece puzzle. But this was the event that everyone was the most nervous for because we only had half of a table to do it. Normally, anytime that you're doing a 1,000-piece puzzle, you get a full table to spread out. But this time, in order to include 100 pairs and not just 50, we all had to share. So they encouraged us to use puzzle trays and to practice within the space constraints. And just wait, Tiffany and I had a whole plan going into it. Tiffany, are you ready?
As ready as can be, I guess.
Okay, it is just about time for the pairs final. We are about to do a 1,000-piece puzzle on only half of a table. So there might be puzzle pieces flying everywhere. All right, this is the best my back is gonna feel all day. I'm just looking at myself staring at me.
All right, everyone, are you ready to puzzle?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, puzzle!
Ooh.
You get boxed. Okay.
Okay,
I think I like this.
Yeah, it's like the Halloween one. Very similar.
I haven't actually done that one,
Okay,
which
calm,
is unfortunate.
calm.
Look at how beautiful that was. Oh,
Nice.
almost lost you in the bag, but
Okay.
we got it for sure.
Good,
We're
good.
good.
Okay, edges over here. I like the blue specklies. Do you want to grab those as
Blue
well?
specklies.
Up at the top.
I see. Okay. Yep. Oh my god, I'm
Oh.
so sorry. Sabotage! Sorry.
2 seconds in.
I am the worst table mate. They said be a good table neighbor.
Okay, there is so much to talk about. Here is the puzzle, which, because of the signing schedule, we suspected would be by Demelza Houghton. And sure enough, it was. And this was my favorite puzzle of the entire event. It's bright and colorful, and yes, it's busy, but there's a logic to the busyness. It's not just random busyness, if that makes sense. So here was the plan. Before we started, we had our 2 puzzle trays laid out on the table. Then we dumped the pieces on the far side of the table, and we sorted edges and other distinct colors onto the trays.
Oh, and I like the
sky. I can do the sky.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Obviously.
Hello.
I didn't even see that there was sky. I didn't even look. Then, when it came time for me to start on the edges, I could move them off of the tray and have a completely clear area to work. Same thing when it came time to get the edge in place. We kept that half of the table clear so that the middle of the puzzle wasn't all jumbled up with miscellaneous pieces. We also did the puzzle sideways because when we practiced, we realized that there was just enough space, even if it was hanging off of the poster board a little. And you'll see that pretty much all of the top teams did the puzzle sideways too. So let's see who we're up against. Of course, Andrea Pang and Kelly Walter, who easily won their preliminary round. Then we've got the Reuters, who also won their prelim, and they are one of the fastest puzzle pairs in the country. But they told me that they don't usually use trays, and they had to specifically practice with them just for this event. At the next table are the second place pairs from prelims. It's Evie and Yvonne sharing a table with Sarah and Lauren. We've also got Mari and Emma, as well as Dawn and Andrea, and Becca and Kelly Burr. They have a similar setup to us, except that they kept the puzzle in the middle of the table. Then we can see Josh and Jeffrey with a mountain of trays. So let's talk about trays for a sec. In the official rules, we're allowed to use 2 trays up to 16 by 24 inches. That is a giant tray. So, after practicing with different sizes, Tiffany and I decided to use trays that are about letter-sized so that they wouldn't block too much of the puzzle. So we saw William going around checking everyone's tray sizes, and I also want to note that the box itself does not count towards your 2 trays. You also are allowed to put your tray on your chair. You just have to be extra careful not to knock it over. So we saw all kinds of trays, including, surprisingly, a lot of clear trays. We had frosted trays during the teams round, and they do let you see what's underneath, but it can also become really busy, and then it's harder to see what is on the tray. You also have to think about if you want a lip on the tray, what color you want it to be, or of course, you could just grab the box from another puzzle. But back to the actual competition, let's jump ahead to 20 minutes in. Yvonne and Evie don't seem to be doing the edge. They jumped right into the middle. That's in contrast to Sarah and Lauren, who have the edge done and are working in from the borders. At this point, Tiffany and I also have the edge done, and we're working on the most distinct sections, like the blue egg and the green building. And I loved puzzling with Tiffany. She is what I call a stream of consciousness puzzler.
Throwing me off because that goes there. Okay. And this is actually going to connect up here. Good. Okay, yes. Love that. What is this? I'm not sure. This I think might actually be down at the bottom. This is gonna be the blue donut. Okay, good. Oh my gosh, that connects. Yes!
Which I know some people might not like, but I am all about as much communication as possible. So it's actually great to be able to hear how she's doing while I'm working on my own sections. But then disaster struck.
I'm just gonna start picking out all the rest of the purpley pink colors. Also, I may or may not have put my chair accidentally on top of a sorting tray. And it may or may not be dented, but that's okay. It's fine.
Just come in here and break my stuff.
But I haven't dropped a piece yet, so it's kind of like,
all forgiven.
Give and take.
Okay, it wasn't a disaster. It was all good. Oh wait, I had all these other pieces over here. I didn't even see them.
Oh my god, happens to the best of us.
What's amazing about this community is like before this started, and everybody's hanging out and getting their table and getting set up, they were just over there laughing and having a good time and chatting with each other. So it's like, even though all of these folks are competing against each other, they're also friends. And a lot of them just are so supportive of each other and root for each other, encourage, everybody wants to feel like the others are feeling good about their performance and doing well. So they're very giving, generous players.
Yes, they are.
So if you're competing at home after the fact and you get this puzzle and you're like, I'm going to see how me and my pairs partner do, stacked up against all the folks in this room, you got to get out a table and measure out a 36 by 3 foot area because it'll slow people down a little bit. Okay. They're not going to have the room to like spread the pieces all out and really be able to find pieces very easily. Yeah.
You're doing great. We're doing great.
We are doing great. Yes, finally connects. Yes, more connections. We love this.
So at 50 minutes, Sarah and Lauren have made quite a lot of progress, and so have the Reuters. But it is Kelly and Andrea who are solidly in the lead. Here's where Tiffany and I were. We're doing fine, but like, this is just incredible.
If you think of that, that's each of them doing 500 pieces in just over a half hour. That's incredible, Jeff.
Is that only
I think that
5
I
pieces
think
left?
That's it. I think
that it?
They did it.
Oh.
They did it.
101, 35, 101, 36.
I think right around
okay.
there. We'll see on the official results page.
But that looks like $1,000 in each of their pockets.
Right? Yep. They just wanted that. Oh, good job. Oh, look at that hug.
So it is Kelly Walter and Andrea Pang who are our new pairs national champions. Their time is just incredible.
Oh my gosh. Good job.
Oh, they beat the Reuters. The Reuters are still going. So then, the next two frontrunners are the Reuters and Sarah and Lauren. They beat Sarah by seconds in both prelim events. So, will she finally get victory over them?
What's going to happen? Which one of them's going to get it?
Is that it? There it
oh,
is.
Wow.
106.48-ish or so.
Wow. Sarah and Lauren coming in second. And the Reuters finish right after.
Oh my.
It's a reverse.
Oh my gosh, they did it. Sarah and Lauren beat the Reuters by exactly 10 seconds. It is crazy that they just kept being so close together. So after they finished, a bunch of pairs, including us, were getting close, but nobody was right on their heels. Then at an hour 12, Dawn and Andrea finished for 4th. Well,
yes, I knew I saw that one. That's okay.
Still doing great.
It's okay, I recovered.
We're doing fine, we're doing fine. So here's where we were when Dawn and Andrea finished. We're getting close, but as always, we had no idea if anyone else was also getting close. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Oh, we had missed
that
one.
Actually worked. Oh, good. That's what I was looking for. Yay! Is there another one? Hiding somewhere? Or is that?
No, that's it. Done. That was so fun. Oh, I loved it.
Me too.
Oh my gosh, you really did break my tray.
You didn't need to read that, right?
What place were we? 5th. Oh, okay. Yeah, because 2 people finished at the same time. Okay, 5th. We're on the podium. Oh, I can't wait to do this one, not for speed.
I know, right? So many details.
So we got 5th place, which means that I made it onto the podium in both finals so far. Now, as you're gonna see in the charts, we were solidly in 5th place, no question there. But we need to talk about what happened for 6th place. So Becca and Kelly and Mari and Emma were basically at the same point. Then at an hour 16, Mari and Emma finish, but they're missing 3 pieces. But when the camera zooms out, you can see Becca and Kelly already also looking for a missing piece. There's one. Oh, where's our other piece? Did you know that? Done? Done. So it's not totally clear in the live stream footage, but the judges all conferred and they ruled that Becca and Kelly finished and started their 10-second penalty 2 seconds earlier than Mari and Emma started their 10-second penalty.
That had to be like, if I was one of the volunteers over there, I'd have been like hyperventilating.
Well, Allie was counting down Becca's pair, and then William was counting down Mari's pair, and so it was really good to have that, because I was like, oh, thank goodness that they're both counting down, because then it made it very clear.
So with a 2-second difference, Becca and Kelly got 6th, and Mari and Emma got 7th. And since this was the difference of getting onto the podium or not, it's like really important that they double and triple checked what happened. It's crazy that that last spot was so close. Now, something that you'll see in a lot of these finishing clips are people bending down looking for missing pieces. When you have 1,000 pieces in such a small space, pieces just go everywhere. Congratulations. You did amazing.
You did too.
You did so good. Were you using trays?
We had to. There's just no space otherwise.
Yeah. How big were they?
Probably larger than they needed to. They're already in the garbage can. We're not bringing them home with us.
Hey. Good. How are you?
Congratulations.
Thank you. Fifth.
Amazing.
We loved this one.
Oh, it was so cute.
So is this the fastest time you've ever gotten on 1,000 with the two of you?
Yeah, I think we've only done 3 together.
Yeah,
It's our third.
Oh my gosh.
1,000 piece, so.
It's a rivalry of love. Like we love cheering them on and they love cheering us on.
So Demelsa, the artist, he said this was supposed to be a 500-piece puzzle,
Yeah.
and she put
Everybody-
so much detail
Right?
into
Oh,
it.
no, this one had to be
Ravensburger said we had to make it 1,000
Uh-huh.
pieces.
All the folks that coming into this who were like, why would you do 1,000 shared table pairs? What are you doing? It's like, that wasn't the original plan. It was going to be 500. And then Demelsa had to make it all gorgeous and detailed and
Yeah.
beautiful. And then we were like, oh, wait a second. What? It's going to be 1,000 now? Oh, okay, great. Cool.
We had a feeling we actually weren't necessarily going to be first on
Okay.
this one. We knew who the artist was, and so we knew it would be a busy puzzle, which isn't necessarily our strong suit, but what we knew was going to cause the most difficulty for us was trays.
I think one of our strongest puzzling skills is color recognition. So we do best when we have the whole puzzle all flipped up right in front of us and we can see every single piece of every single color. So with trays, it was hard for us because stuff was blocked and we're like, I don't feel like I'm doing a normal thing here and I'm confused.
Now, are the two of you going to Worlds?
Yes. So we already, before we had done a single puzzle together, we already committed to doing this and Worlds together.
So I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah, I know, right? So we did some practice for this at Winter Carnival, and now this is our practice competition, and now we're gonna go win Worlds.
Yeah.
So, okay. I mean, we were all really nervous about doing a 1,000-piece puzzle in such a small space, but I actually think that went pretty well. So, taking a look at the data, you can see just how far ahead Kelly and Andrea were, and it was only the top 14 who finished in under an hour and a half. So the times definitely increased quite a bit from the 500-piece prelim puzzles. But looking at everyone, only 7 pairs didn't finish. So most people got there in the end, which is what you want. It's more fun if most people finish. Then if we look at how the rankings changed from the prelims to the finals, the order actually stayed pretty similar, although Tiffany and I did jump up quite a few places. And then I have one more chart, which is comparing the 1,000-piece pairs puzzle to the 1,000-piece teams puzzles. And even though we only had 2 people on it instead of 4, the pairs puzzle is actually in there pretty evenly because it was so much easier than the teams puzzles. Oh, and also, since Andrea and Kelly's team had the top times for both the teams puzzles, the two of them had the fastest time for all 3 1,000-piece puzzles at Nationals. So here is a look at the full puzzle. As I said, I loved this one, and I'm definitely gonna do it again so that I can do all of the parts that Tiffany did during the competition. And also to take a closer look at all of the details. Like, there's a whole hedgehog wedding, which I didn't even see, even though I put that part together. So one more thing, here is the full time lapse so you can see the exact order that we put it all together. So now there's only one event left, the individual final. We're about to find out who is the single fastest puzzler in the country. For this one, we have 2 hours to solve a 500-piece puzzle. One more puzzle. One more puzzle. All right, this is it. This is the individual final, the last event of this entire thing. I'm going up against literally everyone. Jean and Kathy Reuter, Sarah Schuler, Becca Taylor, Andrea Pang, Kelly Walter.
All right, everyone, if you are a competitor, please. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh! Yes! Oh, it's colorful. It's not dark. It's not dark. Oh, careful. Oh, this is gonna be fast. Jean and Kathy are gonna be done in about 35 minutes is my prediction. So here is the puzzle. We knew that it would be by Nathaniel Mortensen, but a lot of his other puzzles have had some darker, shadowy areas. So we were all so excited to see a bright and colorful one. Thank you! Although I knew from the beginning that since this is a relatively easy image, this event was going to go super fast. So I finished flipping at just over 3 minutes and I started working on the sky edge. But I'm someone who jumps around as soon as I get stuck, so I also started gathering the red and pink hot air balloon pieces. So we can see Yvonne is also working on the sky edge, but Tiffany is jumping right into the yellows in the middle. By 7.5 minutes, both Andrea and Alice have almost the entire edge done. And remember, this is Alice's first competition, and she's only 17 years old. And she's already up there keeping up with Andrea Pang. Meanwhile, Lauren is jumping right into the yellows and the colorful balloons, while Sarah is still finishing the edge. But then we pan over to Kelly Walter, who seems to have done a lot of sorting, but hasn't put a lot together yet. It is so interesting seeing the different approaches. So, okay, we're at 9.5 minutes, and Kathy Reuter has worked down from the sky, but hasn't finished the edge. Meanwhile, Jean Reuter did the sky edge and is working on the yellows. So during all of that time, I was on the same page as Kathy. I was working down from the sky and hadn't finished the rest of the edge yet.
we'll be really interested to see, are we going to see an individual in the final today get under 34 minutes? I mean, 34 I feel like is the gold standard because that's what you see Alejandro doing at Spain.
Right.
Are we going to see somebody come under that mark today? If we do, I will be just so excited about our chances at Worlds in 2024.
And we'll be keeping an eye on all of who we think are the top contenders.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have a dark horse.
But yeah, it could happen. Here we're seeing Karen Puzzles. Yeah, you can see her going away there. She's finishing the edge. I always am willing to give Karen a shout out because she's brought so many people to the community. I mean, the number of people who've told me I didn't know speed puzzling existed until I saw one of Karen's videos. It's really helped this community grow for sure.
Okay, we're at 16 minutes. I just finished the edge, and I have a few other sections in progress. Sarah is in a similar spot, but she definitely has a few more of the balloons in place. Same with Alice, she has a couple of big sections in the middle. Lauren also has a lot of big sections, but no edge to contain them yet. And something that I'm noticing is that almost everyone did these yellows in the middle pretty early. I left that until relatively late, which I think was a mistake because it really does connect a bunch of stuff together. Oh, and right here we can see Mari, who was my table partner. She's working down from the sky and hasn't done the bottom edge yet. I remember glancing over to compare my progress and totally second guessing myself. Like, should I be doing it that way too? And I remember specifically thinking, I am sure that other people are doing this way faster than I am right now. I really should have done a more thorough sort to grab all of the balloon pieces. Like, it all just felt a little disorganized to me.
Gave them 2 hours to do this, but they're not going to need nearly that much time to get through this puzzle.
It was a really fun puzzle to illustrate, and with the sunset and the rainbow, just trying to get that feeling of just a beautiful place and place you want to be. So I and my wife are actually in one of the air balloons.
Oh.
Yeah, and you'll be able to notice my hat.
Oh, really? Yeah, you do kind of have a signature hat that you always wear. That's true.
Okay, so we're coming up on 30 minutes. I finally did those yellows in the middle. Andrea has a ton filled in, and she has most of the bright colors in place. But then, look at Alice. Not only is she keeping up, it looks like she's further ahead. Now, the Reuters went about it in different ways, but they seem to have evened out with each other, and they have the same sections left. Same with Kelly Walter, she's at about the same point as the Reuters, and Sarah looks a little bit ahead, but it's Alice who is truly flying through it. Here's where I was at the same time. I definitely have a lot more to do, but here's the thing that's deceiving about this puzzle. Once you do the bright colors, there actually is quite a lot of green and brown in between, and it all kind of looks the same, especially under the overhead lights where we had a lot of glare blocking some of the details. Oh, but look at this. They say you have to know the rules before you can break the rules. And Andrea and Alice are both breaking the rules. Andrea doesn't even have all of the pieces face up anymore. They're all kind of jumbled together. And then with Alice on the live stream, they kept being like, pull your pieces in. They're all so far away from each other. But clearly, she knows her own process.
There's Alice, the one that came in, 17-year-old Alice, and she's right in the front, right next to Andrea Pang. What a difference, right? A day makes. Before, she was in the back row because nobody knew that she would have. I do not want to be a judge of this round. It is going to be so close with finishes. Nobody's finished, and you've just got like 10, 15 pieces left.
Top right,
it's the worst. It's like you're just so fearful of that person yelling out.
I think it's going to be Alice again.
I think it could be Alice. You guys, look at this.
Yep.
I think it could be Alice.
Remember?
I think it's gonna be
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
And it's her.
Yeah, it's her.
It's gonna be Alice.
It's gonna be Alice in under 40. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Look at that.
So it was Alice Rowe who showed up and won the entire thing. There were so many super fast puzzlers in this event, and she beat every single one of them. She finished at 39:12 and was the only puzzler to finish in under 40 minutes. That is just incredible. So once Alice finishes, it's like the floodgates open and it is just finish after finish after finish.
Second sweep. God, that would work. Incredible.
Nice job! I was like, oh, I couldn't barely like second and third. Oh.
Okay, so we had Sarah, then Lauren, then Andrea Pang, and then Kelly Walter. Now, at this point, Tiffany finished for 6th, but unfortunately, even with all of the cameras in the room, nobody managed to film it. But now it is Reuter against Reuter.
I have one problem though. Oh no. Done. Good job.
Okay, with Hannah and Kyle finishing, we have our top 10. I was getting close, but just like at Worlds, I was struggling to get in the last few pieces as I kept hearing all of the cheers all around me. Oh man, under 50 minutes. I'm like definitely not even top 10. That's crazy. That was not that hard, but harder for me than clearly everyone else.
You missed the drama because the timer went off and then it came back on about 2 seconds before.
Yeah, there was no timer. There was no right as you were about to finish.
Oh no. I'm trying to load the results. It's not loading. One sec. Okay, they just put up the results. Let's see what I got. 24. 24th place and still a minute and a half under 50 minutes. That's crazy. Everyone was so fast. That has to be one of the fastest competitions, like solo competitions ever. So once people started finishing, it was just nonstop. And the judges were running around like crazy. By an hour 10, just look at how empty the room is. So at an hour 19, Emily was the second to last person to finish. And remember, we had 2 hours to do this puzzle. The very last puzzler was Chad, and we all gathered around to cheer him on.
Chad, Chad, all the root for Chad.
All the judges and volunteers and Ravensburger folks.
Oh, yay. He's still in the top third of all individuals.
All right, everyone, congratulations to all of our puzzlers. Everyone has finished their puzzle. Great job, everyone. In under an hour and a half, 100 puzzlers completed their puzzle. Congratulations, you should be so proud.
Literally, could there be a better ending to a puzzle competition? Everyone finished, and an unknown prodigy showed up and won the entire thing. But before I show you the data, let's hear from our new national champion, Alice Rowe.
So how does it feel?
I think I'm like in a lot of shock right now. I don't know, it's like sort of surreal.
A little overwhelming?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I heard you had headphones on the whole time, so you didn't necessarily know what was going on in the room, and you said, how did I do?
Many people are like, oh, this is like the new generation of puzzlers, which is like really fun to hear.
So the big question is, will she be at Worlds? When I asked her at Nationals, she said she wasn't sure if she was going, but by now I guess she has thought it over and if we look at the participants list on the world's website, sure enough, we are getting a showdown between Alice, Alejandro, Kristen, and all of the other fastest puzzlers in the world. I am so excited to see this.
And now you're going to be puzzle famous, Alice.
Yeah.
It's inevitable.
You not only came here and meet him, you came here and beat him.
Right?
So in the end, I got 24th place. With so many new fast people joining the sport, I knew that it was unlikely that I would get second place like I did in 2022. But I finished this puzzle in under 50 minutes, so I'm really proud of that. So once again, let me show you my new puzzle shirt. I am channeling my inner Lizzie McGuire with this one. Parent Puzzles, you are a puzzle repeater. Except not this time, because this is unreleased. So one more time, here is a look at the finished puzzle. It is such a beautiful illustration. And then here is my full time lapse. Okay, so now let's look at the data. At first, it's a little spread out, but once we reach 45 minutes, it's just non-stop finishes. And in order to get myself in there, here is the top 30. It really is like every 10 or 20 seconds, someone else finishes. So then here's everybody. And just look at how flat that is. I've never seen this chart so even across the entire thing before. I also broke it down into 10-minute blocks, and you can just see how many finishes were right on top of each other. And that's actually why they usually go for harder puzzles in competitions, because when it's this easy, everyone finishes right around the same time. And then the volunteers are running around like crazy, trying to record all of the times. Like, a huge shout out to all of the volunteers during this event. It was kind of chaotic in the middle there, and they did such a great job. So here you can see how the rankings changed from the prelims to the finals. After the very top people, there actually were quite a few mix-ups. But taking it a step further, a puzzler named Michael made even more advanced spreadsheets, and based on where we all ended up placing in the finals, he determined that it was the most difficult to advance out of prelim C because they had the largest amount of the fastest puzzlers. B was in the middle, and then A was the division that was the relatively easiest one to advance from. I'll put the link right down below if you want to read his full analysis. And then I'll get to the official awards next, but I also added up everyone's scores to rank us in one list. This only includes people who participated in all 3 finals, and Alice didn't do teams, so she's not on there. But apparently, I was the 17th fastest puzzler of the weekend. And then I also wanted to point out one very funny thing. Sarah Schuler came in second place in every single event this entire weekend, even the preliminary rounds. Since only the first place finishers are getting cash prizes, Sarah said it was the most expensive 12 minutes and 9 seconds of her life. So, after all of that, I'm sure you're wondering, what do you win? Second through sixth place is the same across all 3 events. You get a medal or a trophy, but then first place also gets a cash prize, although the amount changes between events. The idea with the cash prize is that hopefully the winners can put that towards their travel to get to Spain for the World Championships. Although, of course, they're not required to go. They can use the prize for whatever they want. So the Golden State Misfits got to go up on stage for our 6th place win.
The Golden State Misfits, Karen Cavett, Elizabeth Karen, Yvonne Foyt, and Lindsay Steenstra.
Then the Sly Dogs were 5th, and Sister Squared were 4th. Then was Wicked Quick in 3rd. And then we put the Betch in You Betcha in 2nd. And in 1st,
our team champions, the Peace Corps, Andrea Peng, Kelly Walter, Kelly Burr, and Becca Taylor.
Moving on to pairs, 6th place was Becca and Kelly. Then I got to go back up on stage with Tiffany for winning 5th place. 4th was Andrea and Dawn. 3rd was Jean and Kathy, although they had to leave early to catch a flight. 2nd place, of course, went to Sarah and Lauren. And then in 1st,
our pair national champions, Kelly Walter and Andrea Peng.
And then for individual, 6th place was Tiffany Medeiros. 5th was Kelly Walter. 4th was Andrea Peng. 3rd was Lauren Kotz. 2nd, once again, was Sarah Schuler. And in 1st,
we're so proud of her, Alice Rowe. Come on up to claim her.
So I came home with 2 medals, and we also got these certificates. Where am I gonna put these? They don't really stand up like the other trophies that I have back there. Oh, and also when I ran to grab these, I actually found my name card from the finals instead of the prelims. So I'll just put that there. I hope all of you puzzlers out there appreciate these details. Yeah, it's over. I'm coming home with 2 medals, which I'm super happy about. And then I'm gonna go sleep. No, first I'm gonna do some puzzles for fun, then I'll sleep. Then I'll do more puzzles for fun. But wait, don't go anywhere, because there was actually a whole other competition. All weekend long was a massive puzzle chess tournament. So here is the first half of the bracket, and if you pause, you can see that a bunch of fast people got knocked out pretty early. And then the same thing over on the other half of the bracket. So the finals were between Alice Rowe and Hannah Scott.
No, you guys got this. There's a lot of colors on there.
They had to do a 300-piece puzzle that was entirely shades of yellow.
3, 2, 1, go.
Good job, girl.
So, not only did Alice win nationals, but she also won the puzzle chess tournament. She had such an incredible puzzling weekend. So, outside of the competition, I also did a panel about puzzling on social media with Sarah Schuler and Adele, who is on Twitch as I Just Love Puzzles. This was also right after my new puzzle, Colors on Colors, came out. So after the panel, I got to do my very first official puzzle signing. It was so fun. I got to meet so many of you, and like, I could not believe how long that line was. Oh, and look, Alice came to the signing. Except, since I had to miss most of Prelim C to go do the panel, I didn't recognize her. Kelly Walter,
Kelly.
I predicted it. And then Alice Rowe.
Do we know Alice?
I don't think so.
Well, we might need to go meet Alice.
But after I found out everything that happened, then we met properly. Oh, and then I also wanted to share a new development in puzzle competitions. So, in the past, when a puzzle piece has fallen on the floor, there was never really a set protocol. Sometimes a volunteer would tell the competitor and just point it out. Sometimes the volunteer would pick it up and put it back on the competitor's table, because you don't really want puzzle pieces staying in the walkways where they could be stepped on or kicked away. But it was always a little iffy for a volunteer to touch someone else's puzzle. And also, sometimes you don't even know whose table it came from. So, William Shandling was the head volunteer at this event, and he came up with the Shandling shim. All of the volunteers started carrying yellow Post-it notes, so if they saw a piece on the floor, they could just slip a Post-it note underneath. That way, it's visible, so no one steps on it. And if you end up missing a piece, it's easy to look around you and spot if there are any on the floor. So to anyone running future puzzle competitions, put yellow Post-it notes on your supply list. Oh my gosh, and then it was so funny. So William was the one who was wearing the Disney ears all weekend, and the grand prize in the raffle was the 40,000 piece Disney puzzle. Well, when they pulled the winning ticket,
and that winner is...
Did not rig it. William Shandling.
Look at how cute this footage is. You can just see how much we all appreciate what he contributes to this event and this community. So then, outside of the main competition, they also had a big room set up just for casual puzzling. Oh, and look at this. They had a masseuse, which is such a good idea for this event. They also had lots of different puzzle sprints with different instructions for each one. There was a big raffle table, and this is so cute. They gave everyone a puzzle piece, and then you wrote your name on the back, and that was your raffle ticket. And at the end of the event, you know they had to do it. They put the puzzle back together with everyone's names on it. I feel like you could also do this for like a wedding guest book. Oh my gosh. And then puzzle royalty Jean and Kathy Reuter and Becca Taylor and Andrea Peng did a speed run of my new puzzle.
Having the Reuters do a puzzle I designed is the biggest honor of my entire life.
We love this. We love these puzzles.
You're missing one. It's on the floor.
Under the puzzle.
I'm feeling responsible for that.
Hey!
We should have taken the 10-second.
Well, it passes the pickup test.
Here, let me show the time. All right, pass a 10-second penalty.
Okay, so after all of that, ironically, the best part of the event is the part that I can't show you. I feel like we need the structure of the competition to bring us all together, but the best part of the event is just hanging out and doing puzzles together without filming it and without competing. It's crazy to think that this community really only came together in person at Nationals 2022, which was only a year and a half ago. My first competition was only a year and a half ago, and I barely knew anyone. And now we have this huge community that gets together for events like these every couple of months. In fact, they gave Tammy a special award because she's retiring from the JPA board, but she was the one who really got this event off the ground, and we are all so thankful to her for making it happen. So, okay, one more thing before I go. The other big project that was happening all weekend is that everyone came together to assemble a giant 51,000 piece puzzle. It was actually 27 puzzles that were 1,900 pieces each, and I worked on it too. I remember we were all like, we have to go to bed. We have to get some sleep before the competition tomorrow. But we're so close. We just have to finish it.
I did not want to be committed to this, and I think I'm committed.
I know. I agree.
Yay!
So people were powering through this all weekend, and they finished the final section at the very end of the last day.
I feel like I'm in a Karen Puzzles large format video, like in the studio.
Yep, we're going.
That was so dizzy.
So, after we had all taken our photos and it was the end of the night and a couple bottles of wine had been consumed. We were all just like, well, what do we do with it now? A bunch of pieces had gone missing, so no one really wanted to take it home. So here's what we did. We attempted the largest puzzle pickup in the entire world.
3, 2, 1, go!
Wow!
We love you, puzzle.
That was the most cathartic and perfect way to end a very full weekend of jigsaw puzzling. So once again, thank you to Ravensburger for sponsoring this video, covering my travel to get there, and covering Valentina and Morgan to film all of this amazing footage. Here is the final list of all of the Ravensburger puzzles that were used during this event. So if you want to get any of them and race against us, I'll have the link right down below. And down in the comments, I want all of you to send all of your congratulations to Alice. She definitely seemed a little overwhelmed, but all of us are just so excited to have a new top player in this speed puzzling scene. Okay, so our next stop will be Worlds, happening in Spain this September. There are still spots open if you want to sign up and compete, or you can mark the dates of the live streams. Trust me, you will not want to miss the live streams. This is going to be so crazy. There are so many fast people who are going. So, thank you for watching, and happy puzzling!